Let's talk about Princess Catherine's chart. Leo rising, Cancer moon, conjunct the North Node, and Capricorn sun. This woman is a workhorse. She cares so much about her reputation, her legacy. Comes across as very traditional. She wants to be of service. That's sixth house, very hardworking and dedicated. There's also a lot around health with that sun being in the sixth house. Leo rising, that is somebody that wants to shine, wants to stand out. They have this magnetic, beautiful energy about them. They always get noticed. They can be very royal and very celebrity-like with that Leo rising as well. Very extroverted and outgoing. Whereas that Cancer moon is very nurturing and very motherly. It is in the 12th house though, which tells me that she actually has some challenges tapping into that nurturing motherly side of hers. Very intuitive though, quite spiritual. Her emotional needs, she needs a lot of time at home alone. She would prefer to just be spending time with family. Although she has that Leo rising which shines bright, she also wants to be of service to her family and legacy. There's a huge part of her where her emotional needs are just to be isolated, to be withdrawn away from people, out of the public eye. Also, she might know a lot of the family secrets and have a lot of family members that are her hidden enemies with that moon in the house there, the 12th house. She has that beautiful Taurus MC. So she comes across as very grounded, very down-to-earth, girl next door type energy. She gives off steadfast reliability, stability with that Taurus MC. She also has Venus in Aquarius, which is very interesting because that Venus very much likes their freedom. They're a bit quirky, a bit weird and different. Usually their relationships are quite different with how they are in relationships. It's not the usual conventional type of marriage or relationship, especially with the 7th house connection there. We also have Mercury there as well, so a lot of communication, contracts involved in relationships there. That Venus actually squares Jupiter, which can be quite challenging. Challenges with the husband and home and family and secrets there. And then there's that Libra stellium there in the 3rd house. That tells me that there's something to do with primary school, her early schooling period that was quite pivotal in her life. And because all the malefic planets are there, maybe she had some challenges in primary school or her early education. There might have been some issues with her communication, her speech, talking, possibly even a sense of her feeling like she wasn't very smart. There was something intellectual there that might have been questioned or challenged there. Because both Saturn and Mars are malefic planets and they're both there in that 3rd house, and Pluto is the planet of crisis, transformation, of rebirth. It is a very traumatic planet. And so to have all of those in that stellium in the 3rd house tells me that there was some issues around communicating, her using her voice, her intellect there. And it does kind of square her sun a little bit as well, which is her chart ruler because she's a Leo rising. Also, she is a Cancer full moon baby. Look at the sun in Capricorn opposite the moon there in Cancer. That's a moon in rulership as well, conjunct the North Node. That is a full moon eclipse baby. So she has a very, very interesting chart. And the South Node's over there with the sun. The South Node's what we need to release and get rid of. So she needs to get rid of being of service, of the tradition, of the legacy, of the father, the son, and needs to move into that secretive, mother, nurturing, healing, intuitive side of hers, that spiritual side, the healing side, healing family wounds, leaning more into her mother's side of the family. And she's already achieved her life purpose because she has children. She is a mother. But she really needs to heal those family wounds with that spiritual 12th house moon in Cancer that is in rulership with that North Node there. Now, I feel like next year in 2026, we're going to hear a lot more from Kate. And that's because in July, Uranus will pop into her 11th house of audience, of friends and groups that she's a part of. So with us being her audience, there is going to be some shocks, some changes, some communication there that we're going to hear from her. She will also have Saturn and Neptune in her Aries 9th house of publishing, of legal matters, of travel, of beliefs. With this 11th house Gemini and then the Uranus there and then all that energy in her 9th house. Is she publishing a book or something like that maybe? Is there some kind of documentary, something coming out about her? as well as Pluto is going to be in that 7th house of close relationships and marriage. Pluto is rebirth, death and rebirth. It is endings. What could be happening there? And that Pluto in about 3 to 5 years, I'll give an exact date very soon, but it'll be sitting on that Mercury and Venus of hers. Venus is love and relationships, and in that 7th house of marriage, what crisis and transformation is going to be happening within her marriage and her relationships. That will also eventually square her midheaven. Not to mention Saturn's 2.5 to 3 year transit through Aries will oppose that Libra stellium down below of communication. Again, pointing towards potentially writing or contract legal matters coming up with the 7th house, the 9th house, the 3rd house, and 11th house of audience. Legal situations potentially. And Pluto will also be opposing her Leo ascendant, showing that power and control issues there within relationships and herself. And we do know that in March, April in 2025, we're going to have a lot in Pisces and in Aries. Massive stelliums, we're going to have Venus and Mercury retrograde in Aries. So there might be a lot happening at that time for her. Not to mention in 2025 and 2026, the eclipses will be in Pisces and Virgo, which will be hitting her 2nd and 8th house axis there of money. Other people's money, her money. This is telling a pretty big story to me. My intuition's already telling me that something big is coming for her. Whether she gets divorced or whether there's just a lot of rumors about her relationship, I don't know. But this looks very, very interesting. There's a lot of tea here. And the reason that she's had so much happening with her health is because Uranus has been in her 10th house, and it's also been squaring her Leo ascendant. And then Pluto has been in her 6th house of health and fitness, near her sun. The sun's our vitality, our life force. And it's been squaring that Libra stellium of hers, that Pluto. So I think that told us a lot about her health problems that she's been kind of sharing with us. But she does have a lot more big aspects and transits coming up in 2025 and 2026, so stay tuned.